by the authority vested in me as President by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, in order to effect the appropriate disposition of individuals currently detained by the Department of Defense at Guantanamo, and promptly to close the detention facility at Guantanamo. There we go.
It was one of President Barack Obama's campaign promises and first executive orders. But after 2 terms in office, he's still failed to close Guantanamo Bay. The high-security facility in Cuba was America's response to 9/11. When then-President George W. Bush opened the prison in 2002, he filled it with nearly 800 suspected militants as part of his war on terror. His administration labeled the prisoners hardened killers. But to justice advocates, the camp was a place of shame, where suspects were locked up, many without charge. In the eyes of critics, Guantanamo Bay operates outside the law. Its location in Cuba allowed it to evade international human rights laws until the U.S. Supreme Court ruled otherwise. The legality of certain torture methods was also disputed, including force-feeding inmates on hunger strike and waterboarding.
Inside the interrogation room, but sometimes you can hear some people screaming and like that, but you can never see what's going on there.
The White House has made a fiscal case for shutting down the facility and saving almost $2 billion over the next 20 years. But Obama's biggest argument for closure is that Guantanamo has acted as a rallying cry for America's enemies and has been used as a recruitment tool for terrorism. Obama's plan to close Guantanamo affects the 91 remaining detainees. 35 prisoners have already been cleared for transfer to other countries. 10 inmates will be allowed to continue their trials at military courts. The rest are likely to be moved to different U.S. facilities and have their reviews for detention accelerated. Prisoners deemed too dangerous may be detained indefinitely. But Republicans say the plan is flawed. They argue it's both unsafe and illegal for the military to bring Guantanamo detainees into the U.S. President Obama will have to push his plan through the Republican-controlled Congress and fight public opposition. Moving detainees to the mainland is highly unpopular. Polls suggest more than half of Americans are opposed to closing the prison. Obama's last resort is to issue an executive order to unilaterally close Guantanamo Bay, a final chance to fulfill his campaign promise and shape his legacy. Sandra Gatman, The Newsmakers.